Next on Worcester News Tonight, after voters hit the polls for Worcester's preliminary election, the results are in. Plus, a man here in Worcester provides his mother with a life-saving gift. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. The results are in for two competitive races for Worcester City Council. The preliminary election today did not have a high turnout, but there are 4 candidates now advancing to November's general election. In District 1, Sean Rose secures the most votes, with Edward Monahan just behind him in second. In District 5, Matthew Wally collected more than 1,000 votes, with Paul Franco coming in second. He edged out Douglas Arbetter by 69 votes. The top 2 vote-getters in each preliminary will be on the ballot in November. Both districts have open seats after District 1 Councillor Tony Economou decided not to seek re-election, and District 5 Councillor Gary Rosen chose to run for an at-large seat. Well, Hurricane Irma ripped its way through Florida over the weekend, forcing many to evacuate their homes. And for those who didn't or couldn't, there were curfews set in place. We caught up with one local man today whose trip to Florida was a little longer than he had expected. Hurricane Irma touched down in Florida over the weekend, bringing high winds, heavy rain, and a lot of destruction. Brad Kane, editor for Worcester Business Journal, left for Orlando on Wednesday with his daughter Brooke for a mini vacation to visit Disney World. They were planning to travel home on Sunday, but Irma had other plans.
Our flight on Sunday got canceled, obviously. We actually tried flying out a day early on Saturday. That flight also got canceled.
After ruling out driving home, Kane and his daughter were left with few options, so they decided to extend their stay until they could get a flight home. Kane sent these photos showing some of the aftermath, which luckily was not too severe where they were, but the extended stay came with a price.
I think we're going to end up spending about another $600-ish because of the hurricane, just 3 extra nights in the hotel room and various other expenses.
Dad and daughter may have missed out on some theme park fun this weekend, but the two were able to enjoy a few days before the storm and again on Tuesday. Kane says he's looking forward to coming home.
I want to give my wife a kiss and, see my other kids.
A Shrewsbury man charged with breaking into the Worcester Islamic Center is arraigned Tuesday after he was found mentally competent to stand trial. According to the Worcester District Attorney's Office, Andrew Burke pled not guilty to several charges in court Tuesday, including breaking into the center on East Mountain Street on April 11th. Police say Burke was caught on surveillance video outside the center. In it, he's apparently trying to get inside. A Millbury soccer field is vandalized over the weekend, leaving teams without a place to practice. The vice president of the Millbury Soccer Club tells us he first noticed the field was dug up on Sunday. He says teams will likely not be able to play there for the rest of the season. The field is located behind Shaw Elementary School. LaPlante says he believes someone was drifting in their car on the field, which caused deep trenches and piles of dirt. Anyone with information is asked to call Millbury Police. Well, a mother is recovering tonight after undergoing a liver transplant. Her son providing the life-saving gift and changing his life at the same time. Our Cam Jandro joins us now with more on the story. Cam?
Anna, when Brian Bolduc was told he would not be able to save his mother's life due to his weight, he knew he had to make a major change in his life. Today, nearly 8 months later, the two sat in a hospital room celebrating a successful operation. Rose Bolduc needed a new liver after being diagnosed with non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Her condition was dire.
Patients who have end-stage liver disease, they are extremely sick with very serious, life-threatening conditions.
Her son Brian stepped up as a donor but was denied. Doctors told him he was obese. They went as far as saying he was headed in the same direction as his mother. A rigorous diet and exercise routine led Brian to lose nearly 100 pounds.
So out of fear for my life and the ability to help my mother, that's why I did this. And I really feel like I retrained my mind on how to eat properly, and I hope to continue this after the surgery.
Brian's weight loss likely saved more than his mom. And almost a week after surgery, she still can't believe the effort her son made for her.
I know I'm his mom and everything, but I mean, for him to do this, it's a big, huge thing. Big, huge thing. I'm never gonna forget that the rest of my life.
Dr. Adele Bazorgzada performed the procedure at UMass Memorial and believes Rose could have been on the transplant list for years or even died if her son hadn't lost the weight. Brian underwent a laparoscopic procedure where a small incision was made and the operation is done through cameras. Dr. Bazorgzada says the convenience of laparoscopic surgery is saving more lives each day.
Offers the advantage of a very rapid recovery. So as a result of this, there are more and more people that are coming in wanting to donate to their loved ones.
And after a long journey, both Rose and Brian are happy they went through with it.
I feel so relieved. I feel like a new woman. By the time I'm out of here, I'm going to be bionic woman.
If I could do this again, I absolutely would do it again. And I'd encourage other people to look into it as well.
Now, both Rose and Brian made it through the surgery, passing with flying colors, and they're expected to be home in the near future. Both of them say the first thing they want to do when they get home is take a nice, long shower. Anna?
Thanks, Cam. That was a heartfelt story. Well, a jury finds a Worcester dentist not guilty of one charge of indecent assault and battery on one of his patients. The jury returned the verdict Monday. It's the second time this year Dr. Nikhil Patel has been acquitted on charges of sexually assaulting a female patient. In this case, the 43-year-old patient who previously lived in Worcester testified Dr. Patel rubbed his genitals against her on 2 occasions. In May, Dr. Patel was found not guilty on a charge of indecent assaulting another patient. He still has 3 counts of indecent assault and battery pending against him by a 3rd woman. The Massachusetts congressional delegation announces this week 12 fire departments in the state, including here in Central Mass, will receive over $2.2 million in federal grants. The Worcester Fire Department receives more than $175,000 for fire safety education programs, while the West Brookfield Fire Department receives more than $134,000 for firefighter breathing apparatus. Well, nursing home residents are forced to relocate after a small fire Monday night. Our Brittany Schaefer explains the rescue efforts were made easier by first responders and a unique piece of public safety equipment.
We practice evacuations in case of a disaster. And of course, we had a real one last night.
Dozens of nursing home residents forced to evacuate Monday night after a small fire sets off their indoor sprinkler system.
The sprinkler system had put the fire out like it's supposed to do. There was extensive water damage on 2 floors.
29 elderly residents from the Beaumont nursing home had to be temporarily moved to other locations. CEO Matthew Salmon says getting everyone out in an organized fashion was not an easy task.
That coupled with the nursing staff getting all of their medications, some personal belongings.
Because it's a nursing home and there's a lot of people that aren't able to move on their own. At first we called in for some ambulance strike teams, which brought a bunch of ambulances to town.
The ambulance responded to the incident because a large number of people needed to be evacuated. First responders say the bus turned ambulance for mass casualty incidents was helpful.
Getting them in and out of the wheelchairs was very difficult, and it's actually traumatic for these patients. So we were able to use the ramp that comes out. It's called the ambu ramp. And we wheeled the wheelchair up, and we were actually able to secure the wheelchairs into the bus.
The ambu bus was the way to go. They basically took 8 to 10 people right out of there.
All residents will be able to go back to the Northbridge nursing home by Wednesday morning. Salmon says thanks to the help from several different teams, everything went smoothly.
We had people from every department. For a real live kind of disaster situation, it was very calm and measured the pace at which people were moving.
The whole system went really, really nice, very organized, very non-chaotic.
Now 2 seniors did have to be transported to local hospitals just as a precaution, but Salmon says luckily no one was injured. Brittany Schaefer.